I'm about to graduate from Rutgers in mechanical and aerospace.
Mm-hmm.
And my current research is in computational fluid dynamics, and I'm doing research on flow control for supersonic flow.
Okay.
And before that, I did my undergrad from India in mechanical engineering, and I worked for a year, and I also had one internship with Siemens for about a year within that time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Siemens India. Okay. Got it. Okay. And then when do you came here?
In 2018.
2018. And you are finishing your masters from Rutgers, you said, and
Yeah, in the summer,
in the summer. So this
potentially.
2020 you will be finishing up.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And a couple of other questions for you is so far I'm pretty sure you have applied for jobs. What has been your experience?
It's kind of, I only started applying late, like this semester after like February.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to get like some calls or some before like March, but after that it was quite dried up.
So after March you didn't hear anything. Now you don't see anything.
And now it's like even if you apply and like contact the professionals within the company, they'll tell you that there's no point because the hiring is kind of frozen right now.
Okay, got it. And can you tell me, like, if I have to ask you, based on your work and your background, can you name a couple of companies that you could say, these would be one of the best companies I would like to work for?
Anything like any mechanical engineering or pharmaceutical company. Like recently, I applied for like BD, Beckett Dickinson, where they have like some research position open in designing, or I could work for like any oil or petrochemical industries because I also have background in thermal engineering.
Mm-hmm.
And any automotive sector, they also do like computational fluid dynamics for their cars and all.
Got it.
So pretty much
And
wide
you
range.
you said you had some positive feedback. Without telling me the name of the company, can you tell me where they automotive, oil, what was the sector, or consulting
I
that you
think
got?
they were like general mechanical companies, like small scale mechanical companies.
Got it. And is that feedback pretty much all your friends are also getting?
Yes, and it's mostly because I think it's, and even that, or like people who already had jobs, like one of my friends who already had job who got his offer rescinded recently, and it was like a very big multinational, like Fortune 500 company.
And he has the offer, or they have said no to him also?
No, they like took it back.
Took it back. Okay. So let's come back to your questions, and I can give you some advice. Basically, what you need to do. I don't have to tell you that looking for a job is the last thing that anybody would do right now, but what my what can I advise you for the current situation right now? So your first question is, you said, right, should I convert my master's to a PhD given the current situation, or should I graduate and look for a job? I think, let me ask you, do you want to do PhD, or that would be the last thing you want to do job?
I wanted to do PhD, but like I wanted to do it after I had like a few years of experience, so that I also am not that much involved in academia for too long, and also have like certain experience, and also I'm like have a little bit of savings, so that because PhD the funding is not that much, so you have to basically are living on a hand to mouth basis.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about it. You have to take care of yourself in that case, right? It's not like you have a big family that is going to be supported. I mean, we and everybody has to went through the same thing. So, but anyway, coming back to the point, I would say, if you ever thought of doing a PhD, I would advise you that this is the right time to do that.
Okay.
Hands down. And the reason is, this is the feedback that I am getting from the faculty also. I have friends who are faculty members, and there are a couple of faculty members who have contacted me also, that they are looking for students, but because of the situation with the current coronavirus thing, not many students are coming from other places. So the students who are already here, that is a good opportunity for them to apply.
mm,
And so that's for sure, hands down. A question comes, okay, let's say, and I don't know whether you funded your masters or you got a scholarship. That could be a tricky part for many students. That is also a case.
mm,
And also whether you got the loan from back home or you got loan from here, whatever the situation is. I think I can tell you from here, you can speak to banks. If you are a student, then they can defer your loan. Only you have to pay interest or something like that.
okay.
So again, the other thing I would tell you is if you get into a PhD program and the place like Rutgers, I have a sister actually who went to Rutgers, and actually I have another friend, son, who is going to Rutgers right now. What I can tell you for sure is if you get into a PhD program, you get decent scholarship. And Rutgers is a place, it's not like living in California. It's a decent living. You can
Yes.
do that, right? So I would say you can have a you can still have a decent amount of saving that you can pay your loan and pay your interest.
Okay.
You can do that. On top of that, you're gonna get your degree also. And
Yes.
see, as I said in a couple of my videos also, right now the biggest problem is, let's say if you graduate right now, let's just say I don't want to do PhD, I want to graduate. Let's say if you graduate, you don't have a job, so the only choice you will have, and many people are having who lost the jobs also, right? So I have many of
Yes.
cases where people have done their PhD, they have lost their job, so they have no choice than going back home, right? Whether they are
Mm,
on H1 visa, whether they are on OPT, everybody, there are numerous people I have counseled who are having facing this problem. In your case, I think you can have that sense of security that
yes.
you now have at least one more degree that you can go out. But for a
Mm,
PhD, you can't have another degree after PhD, right? So
yes.
I would say take advantage of that. Rutgers is a good school. If you can get into that school, trust me, it would be one of the best decision you will take, because if you go to some another school, then you have to compete again.
Yes.
And second thing on the top of that, not only that you have to compete, but maybe the application deadline is gone.
Mm, yes. I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so here, because you are already in Rutgers, you are already in the system, you can just tell the graduate school or the professor you can talk to who is looking for a PhD student that I can enroll into a PhD program, and all you need to do is just do a transfer and you will be done.
Mm,
You don't have to move, you don't have to worry about another. There are many students who call me and then they are not in the good schools, and they say, we don't want to do PhD here. If you want to do, we want to do in a good school. In your case, I would say Rutgers is a good school. Go ahead and convert it.
yes.
Okay, don't I don't think you should take any chance. And the good thing, what will happen is, let me tell you another thing. Because you will be in Rutgers, you have already done your masters. Many of your credit will get transferred. So you will, for a new fresh PhD student, if it's going to take him 4.5 years, for you the time will be -1, because you will be done with your courses very soon, because all your courses will be transferred. So that's a good
Yes.
thing. And for professors, it's a good thing, because then they don't have to pay tuition. So you become a price commodity for them also.
Yes.
Okay. How would this decision play out to my financial independence in future? Let's talk about two situations here. Let's forget about COVID crisis first of all. Okay, and I wrote about this last year about this particular aspect of whether a person should go for a higher studies or not. In my opinion, considering my experience and many people I know, if you are done with your masters, it's always good idea to go for a PhD, because the return of investment from a PhD is much higher than masters, and for
Okay.
long terms. I'm not talking about people who do masters in computer sciences because they can get a job in Amazon or Google. That's a separate story, because their pay scale is a little different. Okay,
Yes.
but for students who are mechanical, civil, material science, aerospace, for them, in my opinion, it matters quite a lot,
Yes.
quite a lot. So your career, your paycheck would be of a different level, especially if you
Okay.
work in a company who's doing R&D and all that, for them, whether you work for Intel, whether you work for Siemens or any company for the Rolls Royce, whatever, you, because you are have a PhD, you will be the person who will be working in the R&D and leading it at one point. So the long term advantage is much higher. So
Yes.
that means bigger paycheck, that means bigger financial independence, that means that you will be doing many other things. You can go with another route also, where you can say, I don't want to do PhD. I do an MBA? That is also a thing that you can do always. But then
Okay.
add 160,000 loan on top of that,
Yeah,
because
that's fair
that's
enough.
not, so that is your decision that you need. And then even after that, you may or may not have a job.
Hmm.
Because trust me, in my opinion, if you are going for a MBA, make sure don't you're not putting too much money into a program, because there are many schools who charge too much, and basically you will get the same salary as you will get right now, frankly speaking. So unless and
Okay.
until you go to Harvard or Wharton school, that's a separate story. You understand my point?
Yes.
That's a totally different class. That's where you probably gonna make much more bucks. And you can go to these schools website, and they will tell you what is the average salary, and you can figure that out
Yeah.
very easily. But also, rather than you doing an MBA, you can also do masters in data analytics, or you can do masters in engineering management, things like that. You can also do that, which would put you in a very versatile situation, because your masters right now is very specific. But if you
Yes.
do a work masters in industrial management or engineering management, that will be very versatile, and you can work for any company, right? You can work for a ketchup company, you can work for a electronics company, you can work for any company, because everybody needs a project manager, everybody needs a program manager. You understand my point? Your
Yes.
options
Yes.
become much bigger. But again, that's you need to choose that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, you can have many options. But again, that
Yes.
masters, then you have to pay. It will cost you less, but then you will be end up paying, as compared to a PhD where you won't have end up paying it.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a difference. But that PhD is going to take you somewhere from 4 to 5 years, depends on your So you said I'm working on computational fluid dynamics. Would I be able to extend my knowledge to other field career? No, I think the field of CFD is very versatile. Let me tell you, very
Yeah.
versatile. Whether everybody who is working in for any company, whether even now companies who are making ventilators, even now companies who are making aircraft engines, company who are in the fuel cells, you name it, fluid mechanics is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not limited to one particular industry. So I think it's a very versatile field, very versatile field. If anybody, so for example, my specialization is in structures, right? But let's say I
Yeah.
have to design an engine, I need a fluid dynamics guy, I need a structures guy, I need everyone. So you will need everyone to come together and put the things together. Do you understand my point?
Yes.
So I think it's a very versatile field. It doesn't depend on one particular technology. It doesn't depend on. So if you're making a product and the product is a working product, a dynamic product, not just like sitting like a book. It's not a book. It's a
Yeah.
working product, dynamic product. You need CFD. Trust
Yes.
me. So you so I don't think there is any question on that. And you said eventually I want to work with an industry. I have to read that the pay in high PhD is the master's to PhD is negligible compared to bachelor to master's. Yeah, I don't think I agree with that. In my opinion,
Okay.
actually, the salary you get from bachelor's and master's is not that different.
Okay.
But again, what I'm talking about is when you say about a salary, you don't have to look at what is my starting salary. You have to also look
Yes.
where this is going to take me in next 10 years.
Yes.
Because as a master student, it would be very difficult unless until I'm not talking about extremely smart people, I'm talking about in general
Hmm.
idea. If you look at any company, top directors, CTOs, you will see that VPs, you will see all of them have PhDs most of the time.
Yes.
You will definitely see that. It doesn't matter which company it is. A CTO of a company won't have a master's. Let me put it this way. He will have a PhD, or she will